campaign promises.
You seem to be making an issue about the fact that the issue of Rivers, Kano, Lagos moving in one direction. You've clearly made that allusion now. Is that the real problem, or the issue of the fact that the opposition itself has not been able to get its acts together? Because if you look at Kano, Kano is a very, very important state. So if Kano has shifted, or the leadership has moved towards APC, do you really blame APC for that? Because NNPP is there in Kano, which is a strong force. ADC is not known to be in Kano. The other issue which you also making a major point around is the issue of the role of Atiku Abubakar. You will know clearly, you will recall clearly, Atiku Abubakar was the vice president when PDP was controlling 32 states in Nigeria. If you remember at that time, the people were alleging that EFCC was being used, just like the ADC is alleging today, that people were being forced one way or the other to join one party or the other. And I'm still insisting that APC has only 29 states, not the record 32 states, to the extent that some of those people who are part of the leadership of ADC today boasted that PDP will rule for 50 years in Nigeria. And that was a level of arrogance. And these are the same people coming together, rebranding themselves as new products. How do you convince Nigerians that ADC, new leadership, has known in the past, have actually changed, they have transformed. They are not the same leaders who we knew their role in the past.
The discipline of the party. Nigeria is where we are today because none of these parties is able to comprehensively abide by their own manifestos. Look at when APC came into power. They promised to make Naira equal to dollar. They promised to stabilize the economy. Everything they allege or accuse PDP of, they are doing worse. Look at our economy. Look at the Naira to dollar rate. Look at the statistic. Today, as I'm talking to you, the Transparency International rate Nigeria remain, 2025, remain one of the most corrupt countries. This is what we don't have this under Obasanjo when PDP was in power. I do not want to speak for PDP there. Neither am I trying to. But the ability of a party leadership to compel the elected officials, the governor, the president, to comply with the manifesto of a party is what is lacking. And that's what APC is lacking. And that's why you see their founder, those who work harder to ensure APC won in the last election, the like of El-Rufai, the like of Amici, and co, they are not there. They are now with the new direction, which is ADC. Now, let's go back to Atiku you keep mentioning. I told you the role he played in stopping the third-term agenda. They moved by the then Obasanjo government that is capable of truncating our democracy. You do not see that as a big political sacrifice? Like you have a vice president standing up to the president in the democracy that is very new. Who does that except the man who has the interest of a country? I don't want you to go there. You talk of EFCC. The issue of EFCC in question under Obasanjo and this side. Obasanjo founded EFCC to use it to fight corruption. But today, the direction is going differently. Just as many people, I don't want to make case for Malami. Look at Malami case today. Can you compare him to the Minister of State for Defense, Matawale from Zamfara State? Can you? Matawale was under a thorough investigation by the then EFCC chairman. You know it. Ordinarily, it shouldn't even be screened by the National Assembly. More or less, having him as a Minister of Defense there, a very sensitive position. What happened to that corrupt case? Malami is there. I mean, Malami is in prison today or is in detention today over an allegation that is yet to be proved. But Matawale is attending the federal executive meeting, having a cup of tea with the President President Bola Tinubu. The man that was under a serious investigation, apart from terrorism allegation that is yet to be substantiated, what of the financial misappropriation, the billions of money from Zamfara that he took away? These are the evidence. These are the cases that
it's good you are talking about corruption.
Obvious. So it's not about the EFCC, PDP use the EFCC.
It's good you are talking about.
Can you mention one person that even then other Obasanjo, some PDP governors were arrested?
Hold your thoughts. We'll go on a quick break.
Talk of jailing Mr. of Taraba State.
Mr. Austin.
The former governor of Plateau State. Were they not all PDP? They were all PDP. The investigation started when I think was a vice president. So the idea of saying that other DMDs happen and they are, forget about those that are leading. They are politically experienced, that the political novice need there to tap in or to follow their path to ensure the right thing is done. What of Chief Dr. P2B? Has he ever been among people that boasted that the PDP is going to rule? I don't see the role he's playing.
Mr. Austin, it's good we are talking about. It's good we are talking about corruption. It's good we are talking about corruption. Mr. Austin, it's good we are talking about corruption, and I can notice the way you have eulogized Atiku Abubakar. Have you ever read Obasanjo's book on his watch? You know, over all the allegations of what happened to the assets of this country when Atiku Abubakar was in charge of the economy under President Obasanjo, because you are making a very important contribution, you know, about corruption. So there is no way we can talk about corruption without going back to the foundation of corruption, and which led and gave birth to EFCC in any case under the same Obasanjo. Particularly about Atiku's role. Have you ever read that book written by the former president Olusegun Obasanjo? And what's your opinion about all the allegations around corruption?
You'll answer that question, but please hold your thoughts for us. Mr. Austin, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, eat breakfast. What a fantastic conversation we've been having with Mr. Austin. Mr. Shomi, over to you. Okay,
I'm glad you brought the issue of corruption. My question is this: have you ever read the book written by President Obasanjo on how Atiku handled the economy under his watch? That is one. And number two, you raised the issue of Matawale. Matawale sitting in cabinet. Matawale has never been convicted by any court. You are making allegations which are not supported by any credible evidence. Until it's processed through criminal justice system or charged for any offense, you cannot make the kind of statements you are making. Otherwise, would you say that is it fair to accuse somebody of an offense and at the same time you see it as the jury and the judge? In that case, just in the way and manner you are presenting the case.
Is Obasanjo a court? And you are telling me that Matawale is a mere allegation. What of Obasanjo against Atiku? Is Obasanjo a court of law? I don't want to go that line. Neither do I want to appear here to speak for Atiku or Obasanjo. But remember, the same Obasanjo, on November 11th, 2018, he openly admitted that he forgave Atiku. Forgiving him, that means personal offense. Atiku must have done something that offended Obasanjo, not a country. One. Two, he admitted that Atiku is better than Buhari, the then city president, 2018. Obasanjo says so. He knew Atiku was with him for 8 years. And he's seen Buhari, who was also with him as a military head then. Forget about that one. Why is it difficult for the ruling APC, from the time of Buhari down to the time of Tinubu, to write a petition or invite Obasanjo to prove, Atiku to prove him as alleged by Obasanjo? Why are they finding it difficult? Remember, Obasanjo is even ready to testify against his former minister of power over $11 billion or $11 million over power Mabila fraud. The case is still in the EFCC. And Obasanjo even went far away to the parish where he testified against this.
Sir, will you agree? You've also raised the issue of Mambila fraud.
Finding it difficult.
You have also raised the issue of Mambila fraud
against Atiku.
You raised the issue of Mambila fraud. I'm glad you are raising a lot of issues around all these allegations. Apart from the fact that you have not addressed the revelations made by Obasanjo in his book. Atiku never went to court to sue Obasanjo for libel. On that one part. On the second part.
I said.
On the second part, will you agree the Mambila fraud...
And the same allegation has not been substantiated by any court of law.
Yes, remember, but will you also agree that the Mambila fraud you allege happened under the PDP leadership? The Mambila fraud you highlighted also happened under the PDP leadership at a point in time when Atiku was part of the system.
I am not here to speak for PDP. I'm here to speak for ADC as a credible alternative. And I'm here to tell you that ADC is ready to offer solution better than what APC is doing.
But you are speaking for Atiku. But you spoke for Atiku in this program. So you cannot divorce Atiku from PDP
You brought Atiku
when
into here.
he was the
didn't
vice
come here to
president.
defend Atiku.
Can you?
And I've told you, if the allegation against Atiku you say that's substantive enough, why is the ruling party finding it difficult to prove him? Why can't the FCC arrest him? If it's not it's not just a political. And I told you the same Obasanjo who made allegation of his paper in 2018 endorsed Atiku, and he told him that Atiku is far better than the current president then, late President Muhammad Buhari. It's not the same Obasanjo. What it means is that what he saw in Atiku then that he condemned, what is happening is worse than that. That is the reality. For a man you say he's not better, and you campaign, Obasanjo worked for Buhari to emerge. Then now he came back again to say Atiku is far better than Buhari. So what do you try to say? What do you see in that in that statement? Is it contradicting? No. He is speaking out of experience. He is speaking out of the fact that the expectation of the nation is not being met. Until now, the ruling APC is yet to be seen better, credible, better than PDP. And that is what gave birth to ADC. Are you telling me that if APC is ruling well, or is doing well, the like of Amechi, the like of El Rufai, and other of their graduates who join in this formation of the coalition will come? No way.